She wore black turtlenecks like Steve Jobs. She never blinked, and she had a voice that didn't sound real. At 19, Elizabeth Holmes dropped out of Stanford to change the world. Her promise was simple: a full health checkup from a single drop of blood. Investors gave her $9 billion. The world called her a genius. But there was just one problem. The machine never worked. In Silicon Valley, everyone is looking for the next big thing. In 2003, they found her, Elizabeth Holmes. She was young, charismatic, and she had a story that was too good to ignore. She claimed she was afraid of needles, so she invented a way to test blood without them. She modeled herself after her idol, Steve Jobs. She started wearing the same black turtlenecks every day. She even lowered her voice to sound more authoritative. It worked. Powerful men, from Henry Kissinger to George Shultz, joined her board. They didn't understand the science, but they understood the story. They poured hundreds of millions into Theranos. The valuation skyrocketed to $9 billion. Elizabeth was named the youngest self-made female billionaire. But behind the magazine covers, the reality was terrifying. The heart of Theranos was a machine called the Edison. It was supposed to be a miniature laboratory in a box. Elizabeth claimed it could run 200 different tests on a few drops of blood from a finger prick. But inside the lab, it was a disaster. The Edison couldn't even handle a single test correctly. The mechanical arms broke. Centrifuges exploded, spraying blood everywhere. The results were completely random. Engineers told Elizabeth it was impossible. But in the culture of Theranos, you didn't complain. You just made it work, or you were fired. So, they started to cheat. When big pharmacies like Walgreens signed deals to put Theranos centers in their stores, the clock was ticking. The Edison didn't work. So Elizabeth and her boyfriend, Sonny Balwani, pulled off a massive magic trick. When patients gave their blood, Theranos employees didn't use the Edison. They secretly diluted the small blood samples and ran them on standard machines bought from Siemens. Yes, the company that claimed to revolutionize technology was actually using their competitors' machines in a secret back room. And it gets worse. Because they had to dilute the blood, the results were often wrong. Healthy people were told they had cancer. Sick people were told they were fine. The lie was no longer just about money. It was putting lives at risk. The culture inside Theranos was built on fear. Employees were tracked, their emails were read, and they were forced to sign strict non-disclosure agreements. But two young employees, Erica Chung and Tyler Shultz, saw the danger. Tyler was the grandson of a board member, George Shultz. When Tyler tried to tell his grandfather the truth, he didn't believe him. He believed Elizabeth. Tyler and Erica did the brave thing. They contacted John Carreyrou, a reporter of the Wall Street Journal. When Theranos found out, they sent aggressive lawyers to threaten the whistleblowers. They were followed by private investigators. But the story was already out. In October 2015, the article was published. Hot startup Theranos has struggled with its blood test technology. Elizabeth went on TV. She smiled and said, "This is what happens when you work to change things. First they think you're crazy, then they fight you, and then you change the world." But the FDA didn't agree. They raided the labs. They found major inaccuracies. Walgreens sued. Investors sued. In a matter of months, the company's value went from $9 billion to zero. The next Steve Jobs was now a fraud. The trial of Elizabeth Holmes captivated the world. She tried to blame everyone else. She even appeared in court pregnant, which many saw as a play for sympathy. But the evidence was overwhelming. The text messages, the failed tests, the lies to investors. In January 2022, the jury found her guilty on 4 counts of defrauding investors. She was sentenced to over 11 years in prison. Theranos proved one thing. In Silicon Valley, fake it till you make it might get you funding, But when human lives are on the line, the truth always bleeds out. But Elizabeth didn't act alone. Behind the curtain, there was a shadow figure, Ramesh Sonny Balwani. He was almost 20 years older than her, and he was her secret boyfriend. While Elizabeth played the visionary on stage, Sonny was the enforcer. He ran the day-to-day operations with an iron fist. Employees described him as a tyrant. He monitored their badge swipes, tracked their hours, and fired anyone who asked difficult questions. They kept their romantic relationship hidden from the investors and the board. Why? Because having your boyfriend oversee a billion-dollar company without anyone knowing is a massive conflict of interest. Sonny was eventually convicted on 12 counts of fraud. The power couple of Silicon Valley ended up in separate prison cells. Perhaps the strangest part of this story isn't the money or the lies. It's the persona. Elizabeth Holmes didn't just want to be a CEO. She wanted to be a character. Former employees revealed that her deep, baritone voice was likely fake. In rare moments, when she was excited or drunk, her voice would slip back into a normal, high pitch. But in public, she maintained the act perfectly. She adopted the unblinking stare to intimidate people. She copied Steve Jobs' black turtlenecks to signal genius. It was all a carefully constructed mask. Psychologists argue she might have believed her own lies so deeply that they became her reality. In the end, Theranos wasn't a technology company. It was a performance art piece that cost investors $9 billion. From the fake voice to the fake machines, Elizabeth Holmes serves as a timeless warning. In a world obsessed with success, sometimes if something looks too good to be true, it probably is. What do you think was her biggest mistake? The lie itself, or thinking she could get away with it forever? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching Success Stories Global. See you in the next documentary.